AITA for calling off my wedding after my fiancée got fit and started looking down on me? I am a 27-year-old, and I never thought I would be writing something like this one day, but I need to get this off my chest. I have been with my fiancée, let's call her Chloe, also 27, for 9 years, since our freshman year of college. You know those relationships where everything just seems meant to be? That was us. Well, that is what I thought. We met at some silly campus welcome week event. I was helping set up chairs. Yes, I was that guy who volunteered for that kind of stuff, and she was there with her friend group. Back then, she was shy, a little reserved. But we started talking about everything and nothing, and we instantly clicked. We started dating a few weeks later. What attracted me most to Chloe at that time was not just her looks. It was her genuine kindness and humility. She was not the flashy type, did not care about expensive things, and always talked about wanting a simple and happy life. She preferred staying home to watch a movie rather than going out to parties. She would get excited over little things, finding a cool new coffee shop, getting a good deal on groceries, or just crossing paths with a cute dog on the street. She had this gift of making mundane moments magical. And man, she was so sweet, the type to leave me little notes when she left for work early, surprise me with my favorite snacks, or text me, thinking of you, just because. Everything went well for years, really well. We moved in together after graduation, found decent jobs, and had our whole future planned out. I proposed to her a year ago. It was nothing extravagant, just a nice dinner I cooked at home. Then I got down on one knee. She cried. I cried. It was perfect. And that is where everything started to change. But I was too blind to see it coming. Right after the proposal, Chloe said she wanted to wait to set a wedding date until she reached her goal weight. She wanted to fit into her dream dress perfectly and look amazing in the photos. That made sense. Everyone wants to look their best for their big day. I supported her 100%. I bought her workout clothes, stocked the house with healthy food, and listened to her talk endlessly about calories, macros, and all the rest. I even tried a few of her workouts, but it was not really my thing. I am more of a heavy lifting guy, built for strength, not endurance. I have that strongman physique, bear mode. You know, before, that was never an issue. On the contrary, she loved it. She always said she felt safe when I held her in my arms. Then she started going to this fancy gym downtown. That is where she met Jenna, her new coach. At first, Jenna seemed cool, super motivated, always posting inspiring stuff on social media. Chloe would come back from these sessions all excited about her progress. I was happy for her. The weight started coming off, and fast. Honestly, she was working hard. I have to give her that. But with every pound lost, she seemed to become a different person, more distant. She was spending more and more time at the gym, always texting Jenna about her programs or meal plans. Then the little remarks started, subtle at first. Maybe you should try eating like me. Or, Jenna says couples who train together stay together. I tried not to pay attention, but it became more frequent, more biting. One night, as we were getting ready for bed, Chloe was admiring herself in the mirror. By that time, she had already lost about 45 pounds. Without even looking at me, she said, "You know, the guys at the gym have started noticing me." Like she was commenting on the weather. I laughed. I tried to joke, but something about the way she said it twisted my stomach. And I remember perfectly what she added next. It's crazy how many options you have when you get back in shape. Options. That word stuck in my head. Like I was nothing more than just another option now. I started noticing other things. Her Instagram posts were getting more and more provocative. Lots of gym selfies, progress pictures, that kind of stuff. The comments were filled with guys posting fire emojis and even more suggestive things. She said it was to build her personal brand. Little by little, our private date nights turned into photo shoots. It was impossible to enjoy a meal. We had to find the perfect angle, the perfect lighting. Sometimes the food was cold by the time she was done taking pictures. Looking back, I see all the red flags. She was dressing differently, not just because she had lost weight, but more provocatively, like wearing a crop top to a family dinner. I told myself it was just a phase, that she was excited about her new body. People sometimes get a little obsessed with themselves when they are chasing a goal. It would pass, I thought. But Chloe's changes became more and more blatant. After 8 months of this fitness journey, as she called it on social media, she had lost over 100 pounds and honestly, she looked gorgeous. Model level, I'm not going to lie about that. But her personality had changed even more. Remember Jenna, the coach? She was not just a coach. She was running a whole female empowerment group at the gym. On paper, it sounded positive, except her version of empowerment was mostly about telling women they needed to find a better man. And Chloe started repeating her weird phrases. Jenna says to know your worth, or never settle. Then she started criticizing me, especially about things she had never cared about before. My clothes, you dress like a dad. My workouts, heavy lifting just makes you bulky. Even the way I ate. Nobody needs that much protein. It was constant. Every day, a new jab about something I needed to change. The worst part was that she did it in front of other people, like when her gym friends came over for dinner. Yes, that had become a regular thing. Every meal had to be Instagram-worthy. She would make jokes about how I was letting myself go while she was glowing up. Her friends would laugh, and I would just sit there feeling like crap. I also started noticing weird things on her phone. Tons of direct messages from guys that she called networking. She changed her password and started taking her phone everywhere with her, even into the shower. Real subtle. One day, while doing laundry, I found a tiny, revealing workout outfit in her gym bag, way smaller than anything she usually wore. I asked her about it, and she got super defensive, saying it was for a special project with Jenna. I did not think much of it at the time. I should have. Things got worse. She spent hours at the gym, way longer than any normal workout would take. There was always an excuse. Extra cardio, posing practice, I do not even know what that is, or business meetings with Jenna, even on weekends, which we had always reserved as our time together. Social media had become her entire life. Every post had to be perfect. She would make me take 50 pictures of her in different poses, then complain because none of them were good enough. Her captions were becoming more and more condescending. Don't let anyone hold you back, or reach your full potential. I am sure they were directed at me. And then I noticed she was no longer wearing her engagement ring. At first, I figured she took it off for the gym, but then she just stopped wearing it entirely. I asked her about it one day, and she replied without looking up from her phone, "It doesn't go with my gym aesthetic." I tried to joke. "Oh, so your aesthetic is single now?" She just smiled. Something like that. And that hurt. I did not say anything, but deep down I knew. She had already made her decision. She was halfway out the door. All she needed was an excuse. The final blow came one morning. I was in the kitchen making her protein pancakes to fit her diet, trying to be supportive. That is when Chloe walked in and said, in a completely neutral tone, I could replace you so easily right now. Just like that, as if she were saying we needed to buy more milk. I stood there frozen, spatula in hand, mid-pancake flip. My brain refused to process what I had just heard. It was too much. She had completely crossed the line. I turned to her, trying to keep my voice calm. "What do you mean by that?" She just laughed, waving her hand dismissively. "Oh, come on, don't be so serious. I just mean I have options now." "Options?" I repeated, setting the spatula down. "Since when are we talking about a job interview?" Chloe cracked a smile, grabbing her coffee mug. "Relax. I just mean things are different now. For example, this guy Mark at the gym, he's a personal trainer, and he's starting his own company. That's the kind of ambition I need in my life." I looked at her, confused. "Ambition? Chloe, we bought a house together last year. I'm a software engineer. I make a very good living." She shrugged, taking a sip of coffee as if this were all perfectly normal. "Yeah, but I don't know, it's not the same. Mark has that fire, that drive." I stared at her, waiting for her to burst out laughing and tell me it was all some twisted joke. But no, she just stood there, emotionless, as if she had not just told me to my face that I did not measure up anymore. That is when something inside me snapped. It was no longer just about her changing. It was a complete and utter lack of respect. Soon enough, my friends started noticing something was off. My buddy Tom tried to talk to me about it. He told me Chloe acted differently when we went out in groups, that she would openly flirt with other guys right in front of me. I defended her, of course. I said she was just being more outgoing, but deep down, I knew something was seriously wrong. Even my mom started asking questions, and when your mom notices, you know it is bad. She came over for dinner one Sunday, one of our traditions that Chloe suddenly no longer had time for. And throughout the whole meal, Chloe stayed glued to her phone, barely saying 2 words to anyone. At that point, I started wondering if the Chloe I knew would ever come back, or if this new, distant, narcissistic version was the real one now. Every day, I felt like she was slipping further away, not just from me, but from everything we had built together. The inside jokes, the lazy Sunday mornings, the way her eyes used to light up when we talked about the future, all of it was gone. It was like she was living in another world, and I was just background noise. And yes, I started doubting our future, wondering if I was holding on to something that was already dead. But then there would be these small flashes of the old Chloe, like when she would absent-mindedly grab my hand in the car or laugh at one of my stupid jokes. And in those moments, I would convince myself it was just a phase, that the woman I fell in love with was still in there somewhere, just a little lost. Then one morning, the phone rang. It was Sophia, Chloe's sister. She wanted to see me, urgently. Sophia and I had always gotten along well. She is 25, 2 years younger than Chloe, and much more down to earth. We met at a small coffee shop near my office. Sophia looked nervous, constantly fidgeting with her cup. And then, all of a sudden, she laid it all out. Chloe had been saying horrible things about me to their whole family. Apparently, she had also been telling everyone how embarrassing it was to have a fat sister. Except Sophia is not overweight at all. She just has a normal, healthy body. Chloe had told their mom she did not want Sophia in her wedding photos because she would ruin the aesthetic. But that was not the main reason Sophia wanted to talk to me. What she had discovered was much worse. Sophia works in IT. She knows her way around a computer. She had noticed Chloe was always asking for money for strange reasons, saying she needed more cash for gym equipment or special training sessions. So Sophia did some digging and found Chloe's secret OnlyFans account. It was not just fitness pictures. It was very explicit content. And the worst part was, she was using our house for some of her photos. That tiny, revealing gym outfit I had found, yeah, it was not for the gym. I was certain of it. And I was sure that coach, Jenna, was behind it all. She was running a side business, convincing women at the gym to open these accounts and then taking a cut of their earnings. She sold it to them as a form of female empowerment, a way to reclaim their bodies and their finances. Chloe had fallen for it completely. I just sat there in the coffee shop, staring into my cup. Sophia showed me some of the tamer posts, mostly gym selfies with suggestive captions about private coaching. The account had been active for several months, right around the time Chloe changed her phone password. The real kicker, in her OnlyFans bio, Chloe wrote that she was single. She had literally erased me. 9 years of a relationship, a 2-year engagement, gone. As if I had never existed. Sophia told me even more. Chloe was doing photo shoots at the gym after closing time. That is what her late-night workouts and business meetings with Jenna really were. She was planning content, trying to recruit subscribers. I asked Sophia why she was telling me all of this. She burst into tears. She told me she could not stand watching Chloe destroy herself anymore, that she no longer recognized her own sister. The girl who used to bake cookies for the local shelter was now sending links to her explicit content to strangers in their direct messages. Sophia also showed me screenshots of Chloe's Instagram DMs, hundreds of conversations with different men. Many of them were married, some even had kids. She was selling them custom content, if you know what I mean. I felt sick to my stomach. All those times she was glued to her phone during family dinners. All those networking messages. Now I knew. Sophia showed me more screenshots, this time of messages between Chloe and Jenna, planning their whole operation. Jenna was telling Chloe she was too hot to stay with an IT nerd and that she needed to find a guy on her level. And Chloe was replying that she was ready to move on. Sophia even found messages from 6 months ago where Chloe said she wanted to break up but could not afford to yet. In one message, she wrote, "I just need to hit 50,000 subscribers. Then I'll start making real money. Until then, it would be stupid to rush things." In another, "I'm stuck playing the perfect little fiancé to a loser, but at least he pays for everything so I can focus on my goals." She flat out admitted she was waiting for the right moment to replace me. Reading that made me nauseous. I was not just an option, I was a stepping stone. Sophia was so sorry, saying she should have told me sooner, but honestly, I was mostly grateful she had finally shown me the truth. I went back to my office after that, completely unable to focus. I kept replaying all those nights Chloe was supposedly at the gym, all her little smiles at her phone. It all made perfect, horrible sense now. That night, I did not go home. I could not. Just the thought of seeing her, watching her act like nothing was wrong when she had reduced our life to ashes, made me physically ill. I stayed at my buddy Tom's place. I did not sleep a wink, just trying to process everything. Sophia kept texting to check on me, but I was too numb to reply. Instead of sleeping, I spent the whole night rereading the evidence Sophia had sent me, my eyes fixed on the screen, hoping to wake up and discover this was all just a nightmare. But the more I looked, the worse it got. I found a second Instagram account of Chloe's that I had never heard of. And yeah, it was bad. The photos were far more suggestive than the ones she posted on her main account, like she was advertising herself. The comments were full of guys telling her how beautiful she was, that they would treat her better than her current boyfriend. And the worst part was, she would reply with winks and flirty messages, as if our years together meant nothing, as if losing a few pounds was enough for her to forget who she was and who we were. My stomach was in knots, and for the first time, I understood that I was not just hurt. I was done. So, the next morning, I went home early. I knew she would still be sleeping, since Wednesday was her rest day. But no, she was already in the kitchen, making her protein shake. When I walked in, she did not even look up from her phone. "Where were you last night?" she asked, still scrolling. I had a very interesting chat with Sophia yesterday. The way her head snapped up, I will never forget that look. It was like she knew exactly what was coming. "What did that jealous girl say about me now?" she blurted out, trying to sound calm, but her voice was shaking. "I don't know, Chloe. Maybe we should talk about your OnlyFans career, or all those messages you send, or hey, maybe your special photo shoots with Jenna." She tried to deny it at first. "I don't know what you're talking about. Sophia is making this up because she's jealous of my success." "Your success? You mean scamming men online while pretending to be single, using our house for your pictures? That kind of success." And then, she changed tactics. Suddenly, she started crying. "I did it for us," she sobbed, "to make some extra money for the wedding." "Oh, really?" I replied. "Is that why your bio says you're single?" "It's just marketing," she screamed. "You don't understand any of this. Jenna says. Jenna says, Jenna says, Jenna says. That's all I've heard for months." "Well, guess what? I read your messages with Jenna, too. The ones where you say you're too good for an IT nerd and that you need to upgrade." She stayed silent for a moment, then her face changed. A little smirk appeared. "Fine. You want the truth? Yes, I have an OnlyFans. Yes, I talk to other guys. And yes, I could probably do better than you right now. Look at me. I'm hot. I have options. And what do you have? A dad bod and a coding job. I have self-respect," I replied. "And apparently, that's more than you have right now." At that moment, she exploded. She started screaming that I was trying to control her, that I was just jealous because she was finally confident and successful. "Successful," I repeated, laughing. "You take half-naked pictures in our bathroom, Chloe, and you call that success. Is that your worth?" "At least I'm doing something with my life," she yelled. "While you're stuck in your boring little routine, I'm building something. I have followers. I have fans. Men paying $5 to see your selfies in my bathroom is not success, Chloe. It's sad." She threw her protein shake at me. It missed, but it splattered all over the wall. "Get out," I said calmly. "Pack your bags and get out of my house." "It's my house too," she screamed. "Actually, no, it's not. The mortgage is in my name. You wanted to wait until after the wedding to add yours, remember? Turns out that was a good decision." She started crying again, but I was not falling for it anymore. I had seen too many of those fake tears in Sophia's screenshots. "You can't do this to me," she sobbed. "Where am I supposed to go?" "Maybe to one of your subscribers," I said. "Or to Jenna's place, seeing as she's so invested in your success." I spent 2 hours watching her pack while she furiously texted someone, probably Jenna. She kept shooting me little glances, like she was hoping I would change my mind. Then, at the door, suitcase in hand, she played one last card. "You're making a huge mistake. I'm the best thing that ever happened to you." "No," I said. "The best thing that ever happened to me was Sophia showing me the proof. Now get out." As soon as the door closed, I called a locksmith. Then I sat down on the floor and cried for an hour. 9 years of my life, up in smoke. Sophia kept texting to see how I was doing. She genuinely cared. Meanwhile, I had to deal with the whole wedding nightmare. canceling the venue, the deposits, the vendors. I lost some money, but honestly, it was worth every penny. Calling her parents, however, was tough. Her mom picked up, and I just said, "There won't be a wedding. Chloe has been living a double life." I explained the situation to them. Her mom started crying. Her dad got on the phone and apologized profusely to me. He said they had noticed Chloe changing but did not want to interfere. Then things really spiraled. Chloe found out Sophia was the one who had told me everything. She showed up at Sophia's apartment, completely unhinged. Sophia texted me. "Chloe just showed up. She's screaming. She says I ruined her life. She tried to get physical, but I locked the door. She's still outside yelling." I called her right away to make sure she was okay. I could hear the screaming in the background. "You fat cow, you ruined everything. I had it all planned out." Sophia was shaken. She told me Chloe was screaming that her plan was to keep me around until she got more followers and could find someone better. Charming, right? Their parents had to come and calm her down. The mom was crying. The dad was yelling. A real scene. Sophia filmed the whole thing on her phone, just in case Chloe tried anything dangerous. Chloe screamed at everyone. "You're all just jealous. Sophia's jealous because she's fat and ugly. Mom's jealous because she's old. And Dad's just mad because his perfect daughter isn't perfect anymore." Then she started bragging about how much money she was making. Her dad looked like he was about to be sick. Her mom kept repeating, "Where did we go wrong?" Sophia stayed on the phone with me for most of it. We just listened helplessly as the person we thought we knew completely lost her mind. I got a string of hateful texts from Chloe after that. "I hope you're happy with my fat sister. You'll regret this when I'm famous. Jenna says you're just intimidated by strong women. Have fun being poor and ugly. Seriously, what happened to the sweet girl I fell in love with?" The next day, I started calling the wedding venue and the caterers. The venue manager was incredibly understanding. I did not give her all the details. I just said, "My fiancé was unfaithful." And she gently replied, "You made the right decision." She managed to refund half of our deposit. I thought that would be the end of it, but no. Chloe had other plans. She tried to claim the refund for herself. She called the venue, pretending to be the bride and demanding the money be transferred to her account. Luckily, the venue already had my lawyer's contact information and immediately flagged the attempt. I decided to use that money to retain a lawyer, just to be sure Chloe could not try to claim a share of the house or my savings. And thank goodness I did, because apparently, she was also telling everyone I owed her money for all the time and effort she put into wedding planning. She even tried to argue that I needed to reimburse her for her wedding dress, the dress she had picked out herself, and put on an installment plan using my credit card. I had to call the boutique myself to block any new transactions. Sophia was amazing through all of this. She helped me cancel the other vendors, notify the guests, everything. Her parents kept thanking me for not holding their daughter's choices against them. Chloe, on the other hand, tried to come back to the house a few times. She would just sit in her car outside for hours. I finally had to call the police one time when she refused to leave. An officer spoke with her, and she eventually drove off. But I have a gut feeling it will not be the last time she tries something. A few weeks later, I heard through mutual friends that Chloe's life was not going so well. Her influencer project? Not taking off. Apparently, there are millions of fitness accounts online, and most of them do not spend their time scamming their followers. And Jenna, the famous coach who dragged her into all this, well, she dropped her after 2 weeks. Sophia heard from their cousin that they had a huge blowout. Apparently, Chloe was not making enough money, and Jenna told her she was bad for the brand. What a great friend. Since then, Chloe has been couch surfing. None of her new gym friends wanted to host her for long. Funny, isn't it? All those people who pushed her to think she was too good for me wanted nothing to do with her anymore. She tried moving back in with her parents, but that lasted 3 days. Her dad could not even look at her after finding out about her online activities. Her mom tried to convince her to see a therapist, but Chloe started screaming that no one understood her vision. Then she left. Last week, I started getting texts from her. "I miss you. I made a mistake. Can we talk? Please answer me. I've changed." I did not reply to any of them. Then she sent a long paragraph. "I know I ruined everything. Nothing is going how Jenna promised. I've lost all my real friends. My family hates me. I'm sleeping on some gym girl's couch. I miss our house. I miss our life. I miss you making me breakfast, our silly Sunday movies, all of it. Please, just talk to me. Nothing. I felt empty, cold, like my emotions had just shut down. Sophia showed me Chloe's new Instagram account. No more inspiring fitness posts. Now it is just sad quotes about regrets and second chances. She lost most of her followers, too. People can usually tell when someone is being fake. Chloe is now trying to find a real job, but with no luck. Apparently, when you post certain types of content online, it complicates the interview process a bit. Who would have thought? One of her old gym buddies even messaged me last week. Just so you know, Chloe is telling everyone you were abusive and forced her to open that account. Nobody believes her. We all saw how she was acting. Sorry for what you went through, man. Seriously, I did not even know the account existed before Sophia told me. But Chloe is so desperate to play the victim that she is making things up. She even showed up at my work after her apology texts. She stood in the parking lot until security had to ask her to leave. My coworkers were completely confused. I had to explain the situation to my boss, just in case she came back. Sophia told me Chloe had started texting their mom at 3 in the morning, crying that she had ruined the only good thing in her life. Her mom was heartbroken, but just replied, "Yes, you did. It's too little, too late. You can't unring a bell." But in the middle of all this chaos, Sophia and I started spending more time together. At first, it was just to talk about Chloe, to support each other through the mess. Then we started grabbing coffee, then dinners, then watching movies. Months passed, and what started as mutual support slowly became something more. There was no rushing, no pressure. Just two people who had been hurt trying to rebuild something real. Sophia is nothing like Chloe. She is genuine. There is no fake personality for social media, no endless selfies, no need to impress anyone. She laughs at my stupid jokes, genuinely cares about my day, and does not care that I am not some Instagram perfect guy. The first time I realized I was developing feelings for her was one night on my couch, watching some terrible Netflix show. Sophia was making fun of the actors, and I just looked at her and thought, this is it. This is what it's supposed to feel like. We talked about it for weeks before anything happened. We were afraid of making things weird or what people might say. We wondered if it was just trauma bonding. And then one day, Sophia said, "You know what? Chloe is going to hate us no matter what we do, so we might as well be happy." She was right. When Chloe found out we were dating, thanks to a cousin and an Instagram post, she completely lost it. She texted the whole family, saying we had been together all along, that we had planned this to get back at her. But this time, her parents defended us. Her dad told her, maybe if you hadn't treated them both so terribly, this never would have happened. Chloe blocked them after that. It has been 6 months now. Sophia moved in last month. We are taking our time, doing things the right way. She actually helps around the house, unlike Chloe, who just filmed herself pretending to do chores for Instagram. We cook together, go hiking on the weekends, simple, real things. Chloe, meanwhile, keeps trying to stir up trouble. She made an Instagram post with a bunch of snake emojis and a caption like, "Some people will betray you in the worst ways." Sophia just laughed and said, she finally looked in a mirror. She tried sending me one last text. "I hope you're happy with my secondhand sister. Just remember she'll never be as pretty as me. You downgraded, and everyone knows it." Sophia read the text over my shoulder and simply said, "Wow, she really thinks being a good person is a downgrade." That is what I love about Sophia. She does not let that kind of stuff get to her. She is confident without needing thousands of followers to feel valid. We are planning a camping trip next month. Just the two of us. Relaxing, no phones, no social media. Just real life. Sometimes I look back at all of this and think about how crazy it is. Chloe's betrayal led me to someone so much better. Sophia says that maybe we needed Chloe to show us what we did not want in life, so we could finally appreciate what we truly desire. So there it is. That is my story. It feels good to have written it all down. Thanks for your support, everyone. It really helped me get through some of the hardest days. Edit. Wow, I did not expect this to get so much attention. Thanks for all the awards and kind messages. And yes, Sophia reads this platform too. She is laughing at all your comments saying she is the right sister. Final edit for those asking. Yes, we are truly happy together. Sometimes the best things in life really do come from the worst situations. Comment. Reading through today's journey reminds me of how fragile and precious true connection really is. We often get caught up in chasing an illusion of perfection while taking for granted the genuine people right beside us. True self-worth does not come from the endless validation of strangers on the internet. It comes from how we treat others and the healthy boundaries we set for our peace of mind. Walking away from a long chapter in life is incredibly hard, but stepping forward with your self-respect intact is a quiet victory. Healing takes time, patience, and the courage to accept that some doors must close so better ones can open. Sometimes, life removes certain situations to clear the path for the kindness and genuine love we truly deserve. I hope you always find the strength to choose a quiet, steady peace over loud and empty validation. Please take a moment to share your thoughts below, as I deeply appreciate reading your personal reflections. If you like the stories, don't forget to leave a comment and support the channel by subscribing. See you in the upcoming stories.